Hello.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Malik. Welcome.
Hello, dear friends.
Yes, we can start now.
We can, yeah. Okay. Just give me a moment. Hi, good evening, my dear friends, and welcome to this event that has been proudly organized by GIS, Guild of International Speakers and Trainers. And this association has been formed a couple of years ago with this mind of bringing up the quality of trainership and leadership in practitioners who are fighting to become trainers. We want to create a platform for trainers to use this and showcase their talents and also their business, and also an opportunity to network. And we had the able leadership of Captain and also with Dr. Ram, who's the president of the association now. I'm Dr. Saravanan, the vice president of the association. We have an able team who has been dedicated to promote the quality of leadership in training and information. So this is one of our events that we have created for you. Without much ado, I would like to introduce Dr. Ram to give his welcome speech, and I just briefly share with you about Dr. Ram. Dr. Ram is someone that I admire. He's someone who's very strongly networked, and he has been very busy sharing his wisdom and intelligence in many platforms. You will see his company that he represents, ACE International Private Limited, and Dr. Ram, who's the founder and the managing director of this organization, has been successfully bringing information on technology, on science, and parenting, and many things on health. Yeah, he's an amazing personality that you would love to hear and talk to, and he's been successfully handling interesting panels, and he's been talking and discussing and sharing many things to people in this world through the Zoom platform. And ever since the pandemic started, he has been very, very busy. And one thing that I like about him, he's so networked, his strong network, he could just pick up the phone and speak to many CEOs that we would not be able to reach out to. So this speaks much about him. He's a PhD holder with more than 20 years of experience in R&D, learning and development, business development in India, Taiwan, and Singapore. His research experiences reaches out to biomedical science and clinical research areas in renowned institutions as well as healthcare industries. He's currently also collaborating with me, and we do a lot of wonderful work together. And he has published several research articles, books, and book chapters, and also provided keynote address in conferences and seminars. He's also received several awards and rewards for his achievements, which is all well owed to him. And he's a WSQ ACTA certified trainer and an assessor, coordinating training and facilitation. All the more, is more qualified to lead this GIST organization. Yeah, and he's an expert in quality, environment, and health and safety, internal audit, and process and procedures for institutions and companies in the industry, holding several positions as and membership in a number of social organizations and professional associations, and is an advisor to many organizations and companies. Further, he has acted as a mentor and coach for many projects to guide them. His burning desire is to offer the professional consultancy services in business and management, learning and development, innovative technology, and transfer segments. He is passionate in supporting to raise investment and procure business funding for companies and institutions and industries who wish to upscale their business operation into next level. So, without much ado, sorry. Okay. My apologies. Without much ado, I now pass it to Dr. Ram, who's going to give his keynote address and in the process start his speech. Thank you very much, Dr. Ram. All yours.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan, for your wonderful speech to introduce the person and personality today. Myself, I am Dr. Ram. As he mentioned, we would like to offer many areas of expertise to share for the people where they wanted to become empowered for their criteria. As of now, the COVID-19 induced a lot of challenges and making a hurdle kind of platforms for many business people, working people, as well as government sectors and public private sectors. So we are here to support for certain way. How do we able to engage the people for making them to lead further and making some kind of exploration through this kind of knowledge sharing platform where we can able to meet some eminent people today. I would like to welcome all behalf of Guild of International Speakers and Trainers. As a president, I roll upon for my responsibilities to cover as per the compliance regulation, not only with that, but also for the tendency to support for our people and community, how to leverage for the next progress for their attitude as well as knowledge kind of developments. So today I'm going to make a brief talk about technology-based competencies because now everything is measured as the way of something quality or quantity oriented. So the person and personality or professional attitude, everything is based upon with the kind of measurements that is scaling upon for the competency skills or competency abilities. So I would like to share some slides before. Can you able to see the slide? Is it visible?
Yes, Dr. Ram.
Okay. Good evening, all. Behalf of GIST, we are very happy to have you today with us. Even though just now finished the Deepavali festival, and many people are having the long weekend time to celebrate with their friends. But even though you are making yourself to available and support us for our speaking session today, my topic is technology-based competencies because as of now, we are having the technology as the backbone support for the global functionalities or global operations. We cannot able to forget something. We cannot able to leave the technology in each and every aspect of our day-to-day life, and not only for ourselves, also for the business community. So myself, Dr. B. Ramanathan, I am the founder and managing director of EC International Private Limited, in addition to the presidentship for Guild of International Speakers and Trainers. I'm very happy to come forward to present my speech today in front of you. How do we answer when we are having some kind of meritocrats to showcase our talents, our ability for the people who wanted to measure when the time of interview or when the time of getting discussion with various kind of strategies. So we must need to focus on our life when we are having the holistic way of leading the life for our career or something we are spending our personal accomplishments or spending with the society or spending with the community where we can able to grow well. So lot of ways we can able to segment it, but many times we cannot able to analyze and review whether we are doing the correct thing or not. So we must need to focus very well about our opportunity available in our day-to-day operations as well as lifetime, which are making us to transform into the next level of progress. That is very, very essential. We must need to focus. As per United Nations, they are providing these global goals for the sustainability development. So there are 17 elements they are pointing out. I don't want to go very deep. You can be able to Google up and get it for your own. But these are all the important points I wanted to cover because we cannot able to omit the sustainable development goals in our life. We must need to engage and explore the possibility. How do we able to do well for ourselves as well as our community which are surrounding with us? We can mention these people are entrepreneurs, but one way they are very much different from others because they are technopreneurs. They are adopting the technology and they are enabling the entrepreneurship to lead as a kind of strategy formulation, and they are making their wealth through these technopreneurial leadership qualities. They know how to make the money. They know how to engage the people to align together for technology development or technology procurements. And they know the customer values. How do they able to reach out with the customers' values along with the technology procurements? That is the way they are very much different, and they are making their wealth through the technopreneurial leadership. How do we able to think about the technopreneurial leadership quality? We can able to approach any leader. We can superficially see them when the iceberg is floating on the top of the water. What we are seeing the strength or something like some kind of decision making idea or some behavioral sense or some kind of strategy what they are formulating, but there are many things hidden inside with their attitude or with their analytical capacity. So a leader must know everything in addition to the capacity to showcase to the public, also to deep dive into their life ambitions. How do they able to make themselves to fit for the stewardship or making themselves compassion for the leadership quality? That is the thing they can able to analyze, they can able to review in the periodical manner, and they are the lifelong learners, continuous learners. That's the way they can able to replenish some kind of new skill sets or new knowledge. That is the way they can enable and compete with the groups. That is the main thing we have to focus today. What is technology? Technology is the kind of supporting element, creating some kind of innovation, invention, or some kind of identification of any tools or techniques that is going to support. We can able to make it as a product, or it is a process, or it is the concept, or it is the conceptualization. So many people they are thinking it is a kind of element which are going to support and help the applications which are very much desirable for the industries to adopt and apply. That is the way the life is getting transformed into the new era as of now, the technology driven world. So that's the main point we have to think and prosper well. How do we able to differentiate the traditional way of execution of the job or managing the task and other things? Now the technology through this kind of platform, Zoom platform is a technology driven platform. It is supporting us even we are sitting in remote condition, we can exchange the knowledge and we can connect together on this kind of social platform. As of now, we have different technology disruptions, especially here we can able to take 12 disruptive technologies. Main thing is renewable energy. Now everywhere the concern is global warming, and they wanted to go with some kind of safe and secure manner to produce the energy support for the humankind. Many people they don't want the atomic reactors or some kind of thermal power productions and all. So they wanted to go with green energy productions. So renewable energy is focusing mainly on that, like that autonomous vehicle, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, which are bringing the new dimensions as well as the capacity for the people to intervene with the data sources to analyze. 3D printing is going to make a huge miracle and add-on value for the product to support for the humankind to prepare in a mass production manner. So many way, the next generation genomics identified many way of genomic expressions, genomic functions, which are answering how to troubleshoot the genetical deformations or any kind of disease formations. So these are all the values we have to focus as per the disruptive technology induced environment. We can able to go along with the essential technology, 8 technologies here: Internet of Things, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain ecosystem that is going to segmentize the scenario of the operational system. So the decentralization of the different segments will support a lot for the process to get automated and able to activate in the remote sense kind of opportunities. Artificial intelligence are giving a lot of support because we are depending on the manpower, but the manpower is not very competitive when it is aligning together with the machine resources. So these kind of artificial intelligence and other supporting elements like 3D printing, robotics, autonomous vehicles, automated kind of equipments like drones and other elements are going to come and add on value for the essential technologies which are going to drive the futuristic world. We can estimate the potential economic impact of the technologies because in 2025 it is $1 trillion kind of economy value. So it is already estimated for that. These are all the 12 major technology sources: mobile internet, automation kind of knowledge sources, Internet of Things, cloud computing, the storage in the cloud computing platforms, advanced robotics. It is exactly mimicking like the humanoid robots, autonomous vehicles, which are going to support unmanned vehicle, which are going to add on value in the coming days. Like that, the next generation genomics, yeah, because already human genome projects finish and it is supporting a lot for the humankind. 3D printing, energy, renewable energy sources, and many more add-on values. So these are all the values we must need to think. It is the time for us to align together with the Industry 4.0, the revolutionary thing happened, and it is adopting many technologies and supporting a lot for the industry values to lift up. So here a few things like simulated environment, how to cope up well with the risk identification and preparing the control measures, and the way how do we able to generate the cost effectiveness kind of production opportunities, etc. So augmented reality, virtual reality is bringing more value for transforming the knowledge as well as hands-on experience to deal with the kind of situations. Internet of Things connecting Internet of Things, also making the sensors to align together and bringing the value in an automated kind of conditions. So these are all going to become against of human resources to employ in the particular place. But whereas the human kind of tendency must need to compete well with the kind of opportunity going to come in the future kind of workforces environment. That is the main value we must need to focus today. So I would like to go with the other kind of opportunity, like here we can able to see the 17 technologies that is mainly focused for adapting together with the industry 4.0 atmospheres. So we must need to engage our education, explore the opportunity to learn better how to cope up with these kind of opportunities to enable us to fit in the workforces in the current scenario as well as futuristic development. Every industries, they are having their own strategy, company strategy, but it is very well designed and defined for the kind of operations, because we know the value earlier. The Nokia phone, when it was in the mobile phone environment, they were the pioneer, but now they are not, because the things are getting changed and the company cannot able to strategize well to transform into the next level. They cannot withstand with the competitions. That is the scenario everywhere is going on now. The Tesla car is going to come in the future it is getting adopted with the kind of technology resources which cannot be available with other cars, then automatically they are making themselves as a pioneer in the field. Like that, many ways we can able to 5G spectrum. Huawei is coming to play well, so the iPhone cannot able to compete. So the strategies are getting changed as per the conditions and situations. So we must need to bring together the business environment adapted with the right technology, which are going to support for preparing certain kind of strategies which are making them to transform and lead better and compete better with the surrounding competitive environments. There are few things we have to consider, especially the competency framework. How do we able to align together for the universal platforms? There are many ways we can explain, but here, when we are entering into the competency framework, the recruitment process now it is becoming like a talent acquisition. It is not so-called education and experience holder can enter into the field, but they are looking for the task completing competency skills oriented talents. So they are looking for the multitask oriented competency skills they can able to exhibit, and they perform well with the capability which are getting periodically reviewed like KPI model and all. So that is the way the talent management and talent procurements are very big scenario in the coming days. So how do we able to make the core values of the competency skills? Business is always expecting the knowledge exploitation as well as the employment who are providing the support for the employees. They wanted to have the talents, right people to come and align with the groups. And there are several core competencies we can define: soft core skills as well as professional skills, technology skills, technological skills, leadership qualities, entrepreneurial mindset, taking the ownership kind of mindset. So the responsibilities are defined by the company. The roles and responses are very much aligned for different platform of the people who are engaging the task oriented performance values. So that is the way the competition is very high as of now. As I already mentioned, human resources are now competing between with the machine resources. So the scenario is bringing more value on core competency skills as well as core capability performance. Traditional competency we can able to define. How do we able to measure the professional action, which are very much aligned with the major three category, that is the knowledge, skill sets, and the performance behavior, that is the attitude. If the attitude is failed, they cannot able to progress and promote well. So when we are having the people in the group, the team, we can measure these kind of qualities, able to perform in the given task in the given time, to compete well or finish well. So that is the value we are enforcing in the workplaces as of now. So how do we define the competency model? How we can able to make certain kind of value generation or value projection for the people. We have to develop the skill sets by way of engaging certain kind of training and formulating the team and the team oriented coaching. That is very, very important. That's why they are looking for team leaders who can able to vouch for the team to lead better or doing the great things. So that is the way we have to periodically assess whether they are doing right way to support for the organization to finish the task and retain the value in front of the customers and procuring new knowledge sources or new innovation products. So that is the way we have to go along with the three major process: coaching, developing, coaching, and assessing. These are all the superficial things to gear up for the people who can able to deliver the better thing for the place environment. The competency models we can able to go and segregate in different sectors like management competencies, who are looking for the management professionals who can able to buffer between the execution group as well as decision making group, the boardroom kind of directors group. So that is the capacity they need to exhibit. And there are people who can able to showcase some kind of specific requirements for the occupational oriented kind of support. Most of the professionals who are aligned together with this kind of competence skills, like auditing professionals, law firms, or physicians, or some kind of medical paramedical support providers, are many ways we can able to explain this. Then the industry sectors, the technical competency skills, that is very, very important, who are dealing with the technical equipments or technology procurement areas. Even software development industries also we can able to mention that. So these kind of things are aligning together. So it is the duty for the personal effectiveness which are going to align with the academic competencies that is transformed into the workplace competency skills. That then only they can able to bring the value for the top three ranked kind of groups. That's the main core value for bringing the value of competency skills which are making and enabling the person who can be a strong person and personality in the team. The teaching and learning is very, very important. As I already previous slides, we mentioned the academic competencies, which are very, very essential for the global scenario. Now, everywhere, the universities and the institutions, they wanted to bring value from different teaching professionals are creating more modules, which are very, very essential for them. There are the three segments we can able to cope up. That is, one is the curricular values, which are tutored by the professors or the curriculum oriented atmospheres. Another one is the extracurricular activities, which are very, very important. Co-curricular things or extracurricular things. The third one is the value additional things. So the real-time scenario or internship kind of opportunity enable the person to have the holistic way of approach to learn and explore better. So the global competency skills also getting different now. Institutions must need to align with the industries, having some kind of partnership, institute industry partnerships. That is the way we can able to prepare the entrepreneurial kind of people, get ready for some kind of startup or some kind of support for the SME sector. So these are all the scenario we have to focus on, and we must need to think the way how to prepare the global competency skills nurture well, and it is making some kind of deep learning process. As I earlier mentioned, it is not the superficial way to cope up with the curricular requirements, but we have to go with the digital technological procurements which are very much supporting for them, especially preparation of the technological knowledge. That is very essential, and you must need to have the updated contents. So these things, these values can come from only the industrial coders who are dealing with the right platform in the right stage or right situation, and the pedagogical knowledge, the classroom bounded environment where they can able to teach the concepts or conceptualizations. So these three things are mainly focusing for technological pedagogical content knowledge, that is TPACK. So these are all the values bringing a lot of different dimensions for the learning atmospheres. We must need to endorse and prepare well for the curriculum, which are very, very competitive and making the connection to the current scenario to meet up with the challenges. This is a kind of case study, internal audit competency framework. I don't want to go with many things because of the time concern. Professionalism is the core value, because when you are a professional having certain kind of experience like 5 years, 10 years, you are vouching for your capability to audit the particular scenario. That is very, very important. Your performance will align together for the various process in that particular industry or the environment, which are mainly connecting together with the operations. And you must need to showcase the leadership quality, because you are preparing the report. That report is preparing the particular audit is going to comply with the regulations. So all these together, the person, freshers cannot able to showcase because they don't have enough experience or enough knowledge, skills, knowledges as well as skills to compete with that. So we must need to endorse with the experience holder. Minimum 5 to 10 years experience will enable with this kind of internal audit procedures. Singapore government is adopted with the technology stack holdings because they are thinking how do we able to align together for the e-governance platform. Singapore is a smart nation environment as of now, and they are looking for procuring various kind of digital services and some kind of micro element the segments in the management practices. And there are many hosting platforms they are putting aligned together. So that is the way they can able to prepare the smart process in the e-governance. That is giving a lot of new experience for the people. How do they able to manage the circumstances to get the effectiveness as well as efficiency in their e-governance portfolio? We can able to think about the key milestones which are very essential for the strategic national projects. Since smart nation environment is preparing all these, like a national digital identity card, that Singapore citizens and the Singapore resident people, they are having this kind of digital card. Now everywhere the e-payments like online payment or some kind of tokens, they can able to prepare and provide the digital currencies. So these are all the values we can able to bring into the smart nation environment, smart nation sensor platform. We are having this kind of GPS tracking devices which can allow us to go and mingle in the community, whether we are having the right platform to go and mingle and get back in the safe scenario. That is very, very important for the e-governance kind of support. So there are many ways we can able to incorporate these kind of things: business environment, trading environment, social life environment. Everywhere we can able to align together these kind of elements. Now this is the situation we have to meet out with the challenges. Here we can take the example like agile testing challenges. How do we able to make the challenges to mitigate? So there are few tips to overcome them. We have to make ourselves the kind of risk analysis or risk reductions, how to prepare the control measures to eliminate all these kind of risks. And we have to prepare ourselves understanding the basic concept which are making the kind of necessary updated information to lead better. So we must need to have certain kind of effective communication among the group or different stakeholders or towards with the government bodies. So that is very, very important. If you are not having that, you cannot exhibit or explore well. There are certain kind of other ways, the technical skills, which are making the people align together with the updated knowledge and the latest technology. That is the empowerment we must need to focus. As of now, the COVID-19 had changed a lot. The future of work trends also getting changed as of now because of the situation and the circumstances. More employees now they are working with the remote conditions, sitting from home, home-based environment. They are working. Home-based learning is explored for the students, and there are many data. Because of the remote manner they are working together, they are raising a lot of data, and there are mainly we have to go with the safe and secure procedures. Now it is coming aligned together with the hygienic practices. So these are all the things are making the transformation of new normal conditions, where we have to meet up with a lot of crises and the criteria which are getting the complexity for the organizational standards. So we need to have certain kind of skill sets which are very, very essential to compete with the task which are given by the companies or organizations. So we must need to focus and engage ourselves. How do we able to raise up the competency skills to make ourselves align together in the new normal conditions? As per the scenario 2025, we can focus these top 10 skill sets which are very, very essential: analytical thinking and innovation kind of mindset people. Active learning, that is the lifelong learning. Learning agility is a kind of leadership quality. We need to learn and update to the current scenario. Problem solving skills. Now we are requiring these kind of people very much because everywhere we have the problems. How do we able to intervene with the problem? We must need the right person who can able to take the solution to mitigate with the particular problem. So that's problem solving skills are very essential. Like that, we must need to focus for design thinking, creative skills, or leadership qualities, or using some kind of innovation products or technology. Even many people, they don't know, they have the mobile phone, they don't have the efficiency to use it perfectly. So there is still the lacking of skill sets are available nowadays. Even a driver, he cannot go with a Grab or Uber or Ola or something like, if he cannot able to use the mobile phone. So it is the mobile phone supporting kind of element for the technology procurements like Airbnb. They are making the aggregatory platform. So we must need to know how to use the app, and the travel ticket booking and other kind of elements are making online payment through bank, internet banking kind of usage. There are so many ways the technology is going to become adapted by the companies or enterprises. Now we are having the war between human resources and machine resources, but there are certain things it is having the core value of humanoid kind of supports, but there are supports from the machine resources which are routinely supporting well when the manual interventions cannot able to compete. So we must need to think, especially for these five. Reasoning and decision making, human tendencies are very essential. Communicating and interfacing, still human tendencies are essential. Administrations and accounting kind of departments, still human interventions are dominant there. Information or data processing, machine resources are giving a good result when compared to human interventions. Performing complex technical kind of supporting things as per the required times or required situations, still human tendencies are very essential. But there are other areas, machine resources, the automated conditions are supporting a lot. Now we have to focus for the future of workplace in 2030. This is bringing more new dimensions for us and making us ourselves to transform, to eliminate certain kind of valueless kind of components and preparing the value projections for us. Emotional workplace, it is making lot of emotional conditions, and the physical workplaces are getting reduced. Mostly it is online kind of supporting devices will come and support. Technological workplace which are adapted with different kind of sensors or app oriented kind of supports will come and enable the process very fast. The purposeful workplace, when we are having, because now many ways we are not having the purpose of doing certain things, but in future it is very well focused for the purposeful workplaces. So we must need to make ourselves for the future of work in a smart manner, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and a time-based kind of oriented support. So this smart future of work only can support the people who have the right competency skills to align with the workplaces. And career accomplishments are very essential. If you are not focusing well on your career development or career accomplishment, this is the time you must need to endorse your skill sets and take the right journey for your career acceleration. Finally, we must need to think work-life balance when you are having the working atmosphere kind of commitments or your personal values. You must need to balance between the two tasks, which are very essential for you to have your lifestyle as well as the happiness in your environment. So this is the only way you can able to make yourselves fit to live and live happy in the environment. I just want to conclude my slides with that. And now this is the time, just I brief about my company, the ACE International Private Limited. We are supporting for the business excellence strategy, the company who can able to adapt and apply well for the different kind of transformations, especially licensing or auditing kind of process or business funding kind of strategies. We are supporting for the companies for their needs and procuring certain kind of digital transformational solutions to align together for their ERP or CRM or any kind of transformational elements. And we are also providing the support for career advisory or material sourcing or product supporting. We are engaging our activity with the consulting service for capability building through applied learning program for the children, students, and global immersion program for the higher learning people, cross-cultural learning for any community who want to learn better, respect for the surrounding cultures, which is not easy for them to adapt and pick up well. So we can able to bring the value for them, and a competency based kind of training opportunity like on job training, internship opportunities. We are supporting for the people who are looking for this kind of area to build upon certain kind of capability development. So finally, I want to conclude with this slogan: template. Template is making the way for transform for the empowerment to create the excellent status. T for technical, E for execution kind of capacity, M for managerial performance or managerial values, P for professionalism to exhibit with your authentic capacity or some kind of admiring values. L for leadership capabilities. You have to groom yourself when you are doing the greatest thing for your own. You have to support the other people to leverage for their progress. And A for authentic or authority oriented. You have to secure certain kind of certifications which are very essential for you to endorse with the skill sets. And T for thinker or the problem solving skills, create some value for the conditions as of now. E for excellence or entrepreneurial mindset people. These are all the 8 letters can able to transform you to get the right attitude or to the right competency skills. thank you so much for patiently listening to me. Is there any questions? I am happy to answer.
Good. Thank you, Dr. Ram. And if you have any questions, you can actually raise your hand, or you could actually write your thoughts on the chat box. However, we can also hold it back to the end of the session, where if you have questions and it can be collectively answered by all the panel speakers today, we can do so as well. So, Dr. Ram, can I go ahead with inviting?
Yes, no issues. Yeah, we can discuss.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Ram, for that sharing that you have given us. We realized that, one thing that I like about these platforms and the training and the sharing that takes place, for me to research and find out about all this is going to take a huge amount of time and resources. But here we gather that all that in a nutshell by all these professional speakers, and they have done the research and work for us. So it is all the more important and significant to get this knowledge from them, and from that we can expand and explore something that is of interest for us now. So Dr. Ram demonstrated his leadership by sharing his views and the different spectrum in technology, how we could partner ourselves with all the different platforms that we have to connect with. And technology is not only just contained within social media, but it is vast and is so huge. Anything that you have, it has got to be transferred as a skill. So I'm going to invite Mr. Manif Arkot, an experienced professional in marketing and advertising. He's from India, and he's going to speak about internship as a skill realization. A brief about him: he's someone who's in marketing and advertising, and demonstrated the history of delivering corporate brand marketing and creative communication. He deals with branding, advertising, research, filmmaking, and brand purpose. And these are amazing things that we all need to identify ourselves and expand our businesses with. An intuitive strategist and persuasive writer and expert in consumer insights articulator with proven capability in guiding brands and business to success. And his experience expands into India, Middle East, and APAC. And he's contributed to brands like, Godrej, Pizza Hut, Vedanta, MRF, McDonald's, and Tata Capital, Citibank, Times Now, Times International. So he has also created brands and successfully launched them: MN Plus, Mirror Now, MNX, Times Network, and many more. Sony, Pix, and UPL, Sony, Zoom, ET Now. These are some of this in his belt. And without much ado, I would like to invite Mr. Manif Arkot to creatively express himself. And speakers, 20 minutes. Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes, whatever that you want to share. Thank you. Over to you now. Mr. Manif?
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I have to go do a little bit of juggling here because one of my ports is working.
Mr. Mani, you want to share the slides from here? So
yeah, that would be better. Yes,
now only I
technical snag.
I couldn't see the messages. Yeah, just you can go ahead. I will share. Okay.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Um, there's so much happening around the world. Uh, and I think what is probably important for us is not about how we bounce back as a generation. I think what is really important is what kind of pathways are you going to build and leave for the generation to come. So I'm dedicating this next 20 minutes to the generation to come on how they can realize their true potential and how they can discover their hidden talents. Because I don't know how many of us were very clear about what they were going to do in life, and it really happened. See, for me, every 3 years I have a different goal. I started with engineering. I wanted to become a doctor. I wanted to become pilot, the usual rigmarole. But finally, I became a copywriter. Now, the copywriter is something which I never studied for, but that's an inherent skill, which I suddenly realized that I could actually put to use. I didn't know that there was a position like a copywriter until I actually joined in an agency. So, today with the digital universe, which has now come true for all of us thanks to COVID, suddenly it is not just about, okay, what's your option? Oh, I'm going to be in IT. That really doesn't hold because IT is the universe now. Now, within IT, what do you do? For example, is another different ball game. So, as I understand, with my experience and stuff like that, we are working with a lot of companies like Wipro, Infosys, and Apple and McDonald's and this thing. Whoever you hire, there are two things that you really require. One is skill, in other words, the domain knowledge. So you could be a programmer, but you can't really work in a bank because your domain knowledge of banking or finance could not be up to the mark. So you can still be a programmer and probably go and do some engineering stuff or science-based stuff or even medical analytics. So that's where the thing. So most of the youngsters which I see, they're always at a crossroads. Oh, we really don't know, because I went to IIM Bangalore to judge a competition on marketing. So I asked those guys, so you guys must be sorted out, you know exactly where you're going, right? They said, no, we really don't know. In fact, we did have a plan before we joined, but now that we have finished a year, the second year, all that is dashed. Now we are completely looking at something else. This is a few years ago. Imagine this, seeing today. You really don't know till you actually get into some kind of position and then figure out what you're good at. So that is what, when Ram was telling me about this content, I thought probably there's a question that, all of us are having, probably not discussing. So I'm just trying to put forth a point of view on how we can use internships as self-realization. Across the world, of course, in advertising, for example, I'll be very candid. Interns just come and then they just go hang out with us, and then we just go out, eat something, or we just party. And then we ask them to hang around us. Or you can just watch us work. So we are discussing and stuff like that. And sometimes we might just use them as a research tool. So really nothing much happens in some industries. In some industries are very like public policy or something like that, where they probably peg it a little higher. So getting in is also tough. But, once you go in, you do a lot of, you really, really learn a lot of things. So in that scenario, how does one use internships smartly is what this conversation is all about. I shall finish it under 20 minutes. Sir, next slide, sir. Okay, there are many formulas, many theories. I thought I'll just keep it very simple. I think there are three important from being a student to becoming professional. One is what you seek or what you dream to be, and what you want to be. And the other one is what you're preparing for, what kind of college you're in. I mean, you want to become an engineer, you go join engineering, in that or computer science, then artificial intelligence or machine learning or virtual reality or multimedia. So that's what you're preparing for. That's another scenario. And then what you become. So I left it blank because you really don't know. Not many of us actually land up in the spot that we actually want to be. So that's a open space. Next slide. So now what you should seek, is very important, because aspirations, again, I said, it's a moving target, only because as you grow older, you explore a lot of areas, and then you feel that I can actually be good at them, more than one. I mean, today there is no taboo of, if your child comes and says, I want to be a cricketer or a boxer or a dancer or a musician, because everybody is making money. I think the ultimate thing why we actually send children to school is, one, so that we can go to work, and second is, at someday, he can make a living. That's the whole point. See, this knowledge era is gone. Now it's what do you call, competency era, skill era. So in fact, skilling is something very big. A lot of companies are doing that. Even today, I read an article that Mahindra has opened a skill school for underprivileged people who feel that they're not cut out for regular curriculum or the education stream. They can actually come and pick up a skill and then make a living out of it. The government of India, every budget they allocate about 100 crores just to improve Skill India movement in India. And a lot of small entrepreneurs are opening up skill shops where they can train people into not just about what do you call, electrician or plumber and the thing. All those days are gone. Today, skilling is more about coding and medical equipment and hardware restructuring, refurbishing. So there's a lot of new areas which have come within the government stream itself. So things are getting upbeat. There is no what do you call, no prejudice about what job you do. That is going out of the window, which is very good for the society. So that we don't just produce only engineers and doctors. We actually have a lot of other people. Next slide. I think we jumped. Back. Yeah. So this is what I feel. The truth is this. I don't know how education is far outreaching in nature in Singapore or other places, but in India, I think it's still a little confined to the curriculum and though the content of curriculum is really rich and good enough for the world, they're still a little bit close. The people just don't know, what the algebra that I'm doing, where I'm going to apply. Those kind of translations just now coming in. So the truth is, when you are an intern, you are just a seed. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. You are just going there. I got this internship in KPMG. I got an internship in, Wonderman Thompson. It's a nice label to. So that's where people are usually. Next slide. So this is what I would probably tell kids. Soak in the atmosphere. What do you do when you go into an internship? First thing is you have to know how this office operates. What is the hierarchy there? Who's the big boss? Who's the boss next? What are the different departments? What are the verticals? What priorities? So because a lot of times people just go and say, oh, it's a consulting company. And then what? That's where the really, everything starts, because consulting is so many different things. So do you really know? So because only very few people have structured sessions for interns where they just allowed to hang in and then soak in the atmosphere, as we say, and then learn stuff on their own. So if there is a structured training program, obviously, that's going to take care of a lot of things. But apart from that, what can someone do is, these things. Observe hierarchy is very important because that's the ladder that you're going to climb. You probably go in as a, accountant or, guy, and then you move into finance head and national finance head. I don't know. Each company has its own hierarchy. So if you are very keen on joining that company, you should know exactly what's the ladder that's perched. And then priorities. So most of the companies, some companies have their priorities very clearly cut out. So we have, in India, we have two different conglomerates. One is all about trust, quality, being naive, being right, integrity, this, that. The other one is like be aggressive, profits is God, and be new, blue ocean strategy. If you can't compete with them, buy them. So both are different approaches, different priorities of business. So people, I think youngsters should also understand what's the culture of that place, business culture, and also the work culture of that place. So that is something, priorities keep changing from company to company, and people should look into that. And the body language. See, like for example, if you walk into an advertising agency, the body language is different. See, I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm supposed to be heading marketing in a place now. But the point is, the attire changes, the choice of word changes, and how you speak and how you greet people, everything changes. You should know that body language so that you're not out of place. There are some places where you can't be too formal and straight-jacketed because you'll be ridiculed. So in the initial years, it's better that you actually know what people do. You don't have to subscribe to it, but then you should definitely understand body language, because in some places, just a small word of, this is not appropriate is enough. But in some places, there a lot of expletives involved. Like in advertising, they just don't hold back their words. So you should know that, what is the intent of the warning that you're getting, so that you don't have to mess with bosses who are going to teach you. And the team structures. So team structures, I think, very important for people to know, because it's in one of those teams that there's going to be a vacancy which you're going to go and fill in. So if you don't know that structure and how things are falling into place, and from which compartment to which compartment workflows, you will probably miss out on that opportunity to integrate as a mainstream. Verticals we talked about. There are a lot of verticals. You should understand all of them, because you really don't know which vertical you're going to actually fit in. So yeah, most companies, that's what they do in internships. They just take them into one department, second department, third department, spend the 10 days each or 1 month each, depending on the duration of the internship. And then they ask people to decide and follow whatever they are good at. So key functions, again, important. You should really know in terms of important. Like I'm sorry, I'm just taking again examples of advertising industry because I spent about 30 years there. The point is, you should know whether the client servicing is important, or the creative is important, or the planning department is important, or the finance department is important, for your kind of job. And you should understand the key functions of those things. Team chemistry, again, this is about the interpersonal skill. People always like to work with like-minded people, which is becoming much more increasingly true. Because soft skills are very important, and if you don't fit into the culture of the place, you might not stay there for long. Of course, if you're a creative guy and you just have a very good portfolio to show, or if you're a coder who's already got some 2 patents in your name, people actually work around you. But if that's not the case, till you get to that place, I think you should understand team chemistry and then try to behave accordingly. And this I always keep saying, if you really don't understand what your boss is doing, you'll never get to that place. Which happens in a lot. I don't know. A lot of industries do happen, because I've seen people who join in as accountants and then retire as accountants. I've known writers who joined in as writers and always been a writer. That's a choice, of course. But there are coders, we just always coders. Maybe it gives them the freedom. But I think at the start of your career, you should definitely look at climbing that ladder and then going to the top. So you should know what the boss is actually grappling with. Next slide. Next slide. So what you prepare for? There are a lot of things to consider in this. Next slide, sir. So if you're very clear about what you're come here for, why you've come here, and what you want to do in this place, then I think we should play it a little differently. So first thing to do is definitely get noticed, be noticed from external listening. I mean, very simple things like dressing sharp, being punctual, and doing things differently definitely gives you that extra notice. Because I was talking about a place where there are about 200, 300 employees, but then most internships happen in places where they have probably, 8,000, 20,000 people in just one geographical location. So in that place, this is so important. I don't know how much you can actually succeed in this thing, but then it should definitely be, worth a try. So some what do you call non-interactive signals should be definitely given. You have to have your own sense of style. You should have your own sense of responsibility, and your own sense of effectiveness. So these are really important. You will have to find a way to get noticed. Next slide. And definitely you have to showcase potential. I mean, I think like I said, no, now this second section is when you are very clear about this is the place I want to join, and I have to make an impact. Maybe not this year, but next year. But someone there should remember me when the time comes. So in that case, you have to definitely showcase potential. Whichever domain that you're working on, or whichever skill set that you're trying to push for, you should definitely be. I think at least 3 rungs above you. People should know you, and what you can do. So you have to really slog and then do things perfectly, and then make sure that people notice your potential. Of course, the best thing that how you can start is asking right questions. Asking questions is just not enough. Asking intelligent questions is the game. So you need to know when you should ask what question. It should establish that you're keen to learn, but it should also establish that you've already known something about it. So the question should be incrementally higher than the conversation that is happening around. So that is very important. And being resourceful. We always seen internships in movies. You just buy coffee and then make photocopies. So those times are gone. Being resourceful is about being data. I think the game today is about what you know before you Google things. That is the way to prepare yourself. If you know that this is the place I'm going, this is what they do, and these are the kind of people, you should know stuff before Googling it. So that is being resourcefulness. You don't have to make decision making, not yet. You're not expected to make decisions, but you should be very resourceful. You should know, you should exhibit understanding. I understand this job. I understand what you're talking about. But my idea might not be great, but I understand what the problem is. I think understanding problem is probably the biggest thing. So I'm talking about internships from a very growth point of view. It's not just about spending 2 months and then getting knowledge. I think those kind of internships you don't have to discuss much. But here is something who is someone who has fire in the belly and then just wants to become the CEO, want to change the world. Those kind of very hungry souls. How do they behave is what this small discussion is about. So exhibiting understanding, and learn, unlearn, know what to learn. So this is, I think it's a cyclic thing. I don't think you can ever stop learning, unlearning, and knowing what to learn. Curation, if I can say, this is something which people should also know that you're doing this, because that's the kind of junior I would want to hire. Next slide. So if you see, in the first section I showed a sapling, the second section I showed a tree, because that's the correlation. This is what I'm a seed and I'll become a tree. But the truth is, you might actually end up being a butterfly, a bee. You don't have to be stuck in some place, because if you do those two parts right, you can actually fly. That's what this third part is saying. Next slide. So at the end of probably midway, you should know this. You're better than who you think you are right now, because today getting internship not so easy in a good company. So you should definitely fight for getting into a good company, because you really don't know who you're going to meet, because it's about who you know, because what you know is anyway there to show. So the next step is who you know. Down the line, you might get your own CEO from that batch, or you could become the CEO of someone who started up. So the right kind of places, go to the best place and try to get an internship, and increase your confidence levels. And you should understand that just because I'm interning in an accounting firm, that I'm going to become an accountant. No, I'm just going to know that accounting side very clearly, because that is important today. Everybody does multiple. Uh, they do multiple what do you call internships, so that they can understand different sides of the business scenario. Next slide. So the first thing is explore, which is why I was saying exploring is about this. Explore what are the things that are there. Fight for I want to go to KPMG or this thing, or something similar. I want to know this domain. I want to know this skill. Explore what is there, and see what your aptitude is, and then try to get internship. You don't have to do one internship every year. You can do two. Who knows? You can always find a way, because most of the internships are now online. So it's a great time to learn more in a very hands-on scenario. So because if you're going to spend at least say 5 to 10 years in that kind of place, you should know that you're comfortable with that place. So that is explore. The second one is evaluate. So you have to definitely evaluate vis-a-vis your aptitude, your skill set, and how much you are willing to put in. So you have to know that, because the wrong place. So when you're already in an internship, which means the world thinks that you really know and understand what you are, who you are, and what you want to do. So you might not take the decision now, but evaluation is a very important point for you to go to the next step. Next. Yeah, I think whatever you want to do, if you're not enjoying, it's not at all worth it. I think this current generation, the enjoyment is so important. It probably should be first, but then, like I said, you have to do your research first before you choose what you want to buy or what you want to own. So you have to enjoy that kind of thing. The whole point you are doing an internship is to analyze and evaluate whether is this fun. Can I do this over and over again? I don't know. Nobody works for 30 years anymore. So probably for the next 5 years or 10 years, can I do this over and over again? Will I enjoy this? Is there variety? Is there? So because there are only three things that we all work for. Uh, you know, you need to have money, you need to have fun, and you need to have recognition. Because these are the three things that really matter in the career space. So see whether your kind of fun is there, your kind of money is there, or the recognition that you would want. Will you like? Because some people might want recognition from the scientific circle. Some people want it in the media. Some people want it just in Instagram. So you have to decide what kind of enjoyment that you seek from this career. And yeah. So, and the final thing is you have to exceed expectations. If you're an intern, you can't pass out as just an intern. I think then it's a waste of time. Whatever place that you're going, exceed their expectation in one front, one question, one assignment, one project, one brainstorming session, one outing, one dinner. You have to exceed expectation somewhere. People should remember you. That's a very important thing. They should remember you for the right reasons. That's pretty important. And the moment you exceed not just their expectation, even your own expectations. No, I went here for this. Be very clear about what you went there for, and see well. I think then you probably are in the right track. So self-actualization happens when you understand yourself better. First thing, then you should also understand where you'll find that fulcrum, that can take you up. So that is very important. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I have today. This is Money Workouts.
Right, thank you. And well, one thing that I realized from Mr. Manif's sharing is that I reflect on my own life. Yeah, from a mechanical engineer to a physician, a HR person. Yeah, and probably I want to retire as a pastry chef. And I was told by my coaches in pastry making, there's no such thing as a healthy pastry. But the physician in me wants to enjoy the pleasures of life and wants to explore making pastries in the most healthiest way and make it beneficial and nutritional. It may happen, may not happen, but I'm prepared to explore and also the sharing was quite interesting because it pushes a person to do the best. And when you do internship, you don't come out mediocre, but you bring out the best in you. And also the need to promote yourself, make the world know that you exist and what you are capable of doing. And this is a good take that I take from the sharing just now. It is an interesting insight as well, because internship is like a guru-disciple relationship. It is native in our tradition, in the Asian culture. And to express it and take it from technology and bring out the best, the guru always wants the best from his students because it promotes him, because he's good. And you can, like the cub of the leopard, wants to jump further than the mother leopard. So like that, we are aspiring to become more empowered and powerful and leave a legacy, that promotes the teacher and also promote ourselves. Good, very good. Now I'm going to invite the next speaker. Before I invite him, is there anyone who has got any question to Mr. Manifa?
I have one question.
Yes.
How do you make the people, when they are in the condition to have the internship in the local or regional level, or who are going somewhere developed countries like that, how do they able to balance? Because it is the kind of learning and exploration that you pointed out. But there are opportunities. They are studying in the same curriculum, in the same platform when it is in the institutional atmosphere. When they are taking the step, whether they are going to add on with some renowned institutions like in India, IIT or IIM or IASC kind of atmosphere, or some kind of medical institution like All India Institute of Medical Sciences and all, or they are going somewhere in abroad, making some kind of learning from UK or Australia by the way of internship attachment kind of thing. How do we able to intervene to fill up the gap?
Like when people come into internship, like I said, you are just a seed, or like they say, the life stages of a butterfly. You are just a pupa. All pupa look alike, but only when the butterfly comes out, oh my God, this is one blue, this one is red. You don't know. So great internship, what they do is actually stir up your soul, your talent, and then they find out that, oh, this is this thing which you're good at. So you might be thinking, that's what I said, when you go in, you don't know who you are. We should understand that. Or you think that you know, but then when you go there, the world looks at you differently. Like I said, no, everybody is from IIT, right? How come someone are shining in Apple, but the other guys are in, BHEL, So it's an aptitude. Those guys are very good at getting good internship, allows you to bring that true colors of you. You never know, because you'll think that this is nothing important because my professor said this is only number one paying job. But then what is your aptitude that you will never know till you actually go to the spot. You can talk so much about pottery. Have you ever spun that wheel? It goes crazy. You can never hold that pottery thing. It's so nice, when he does it so beautiful, simple, very serene. But when you go there, it goes all over the place. So unless you go to that workplace, you will never know what you're actually good at. So that is where internship is so important, and it has been much more structured. What you're saying is, both if there is a cultural difference, like someone from another country coming for an internship, then it's a responsibility of both the company as well as probably the parents or the institution that is sending to get the cultural nuances already. See, we know that when I was working with Wipro, they have analysts coming. They have orientation courses for analysts to come and do things perfectly here. Or when Wipro Infosys sends people abroad, especially in European countries, etiquette is taught. So, and they say what you can say, what you can't say. If you go to Japan, you can't do this. You can't suddenly quickly drink. You have to pour a drink to somebody else so that they can pour it back. All these things are cultural nuances. So that is what I said. You have to understand the soak in the atmosphere. Now, soak in the atmosphere is before you do anything, tie your hands on, don't speak, just observe. Then you slowly go. I think people are very smart. See, thankfully, it is not that we'll all be shocked, if a Red Indian comes and, stares at her, because we have seen them in so many movies, right? We might actually pat him in the shoulder and then make friends with him. So that shock is not there. So kids are much more smarter. But if they pause a little, go back and then observe the thing, they will be able to bridge that gap.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Can I just add something?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Professor Stanley here.
Yeah.
I thank you for that interesting talk. That reminds me about my daughter named Melody. She just graduated from law. At that time, of course, she's 38 now. But at that time, I remember she wanted to apply for internship as a lawyer in THL. And then he said, oh, that actually the cutoff date is already over. Just yesterday, she forgot to send it, So what do I do that, And I remember I said that, well, why don't you send in your CV instead of white color, blue color? And then you create an email very different. So instead of calling Melody Cheng, she called herself Jambini at gmail.com. So she sent that in, and then she somehow got the interview. And not only got the interview, she got accepted by this DHL senior lawyers. So I said, why don't you ask this senior lawyer, say why you are chosen? You were late in application, She said that, well, her application got, if you look at my hand, got about, I don't know, about 2,000 or something. But because her application is blue in color, the rest is white. So this is like very humorous. He said that yours is blue, so all is white is at the bottom. So I just take the blue one out, and then I saw your email. Instead of Melody Jane, it's Jambini, Jambanie, which is not her name. I don't know where she got it, So her Gmail is still Jambini, and it just so she got listed as the intern, and the testimony after 6 months, the senior counsel said that after you finish, if you want a job, write to me. So I think what you have just said, is wonderful. that to be different and do exceptionally catch the attention. So that's how my daughter got in that one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Good,
Because
that
all
is
the
an
educational
excellent example.
institutions are churning out robots.
Yeah, and that's an excellent example from Professor Stanley. All right, without much ado, let me invite Mr. Raj, who's going to speak about Beyond Borders. Now, Mr. Raj is the founder and director of Tech Global Tradings and Services Private Limited in Singapore, an expert in e-commerce and entrepreneurship with over 3 years of experience in e-commerce and 10 years of experience in project management. So his main business activities are online retailers and distributors and resellers for various brands and providing e-commerce consultancy, expertise in product research and product sourcing and product distribution and consultation. Now, Mr. Raj, I would like to hear you share and probably how I could evolve my e-commerce platform. So I'm going to pick a lot of tips from you. I'm looking forward to hear from you. Now, to you, Mr. Raj, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Saravanan, and thanks, Dr. Ram, for the invite and giving a great opportunity for meeting our fellow people. So I prepared some slides and I'm going to share. Let me some screen. Yeah, you all see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, professionally, I'm an engineer, and now I'm totally different in e-commerce, as Mr. Manu said. Don't know how we grow and what changes along the way, so we just pick up the best and go beyond that. And the topic today is technology driven global, how the technology is driven global opportunities. So when I quit my job in 2018 because I feel a bit boring in 9 to 5 after working for 16 years plus, then I decided to do something my own. Then I asked myself what I'm going to do. I don't know, it's totally blank. So I took a break about 2 months. Then 2019 January, then I start to follow Jack Ma, Alibaba COE, ex-COE, and he telling that internet thing is the next future, and I started to follow his articles and blogs and speeches. I get inspired, and e-commerce is booming at the time. He told that Southeast Asia are going to take over in the sales volume compared to USA. So I started to follow. So I started to follow things, read things and related to e-commerce businesses. And because I don't know anything about e-commerce, so I started to learn. I understand. I attend networking meetings, workshops. Okay, then I decided to go into business. So that's the quick background about myself, why I'm switching from my professional engineering degree to e-commerce. So after that, what happened, and I am going to share. So today in the presentation, I'm going to talk about the revolutionized shopping experience. So everybody, we are almost everyone, we are buying online. So our experience compared to last time and today is very much improved, right? So how much we are contributing to revenue for the online purchases. And okay, so yeah, there is opportunities there, and many people, there are billions and millions of revenues are generating. So what I'm going to do that in that e-commerce, and so how we can do is setting up our own online shop, and why we need to set up a online shop versus selling in marketplaces. There are pros and cons, and what is the business growth impact and customer satisfaction impact, and online advertisement and browsing behavior, and what's the next in e-commerce. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss briefly today. So the revolutionized shopping experience. Compared to last time, now customers, buyers, especially Gen Z, and now they are doing a lot of researches, lot of research.
The sand, okay, little bit cheaper. I think they buy so much. Sometimes they send. No, same.
Hello.
I buy 500. Where got cheap? I put the offer. Delivery.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. So when you want to buy something, first thing we're going to do some research, right? So we normally we go to Google and search, I want to buy, where I can get. So the Google in the back end is called AI, artificial intelligence, take that one and show the results within few seconds or fraction of seconds, right? And from there, we can choose which platform we want to buy. And so that is the online new era of digital shopping. Before online shopping comes, we need to go down to the retail shop physically, and we need to make purchases, stand in the long queue, and rain or shine, we need to overcome that one. And it makes difficulty for the people with accessibility and mobility issues. They can't shop easily, and people only can buy items that are available.
1,000 rupees is very big for me, no? Confused now, no? I need to make money first, no?
Yeah, Dr. Ram, can you mute the
I need to
other?
return. The doctor haven't returned, no?
Yeah, okay. So people cannot, they only can buy items available local shops, right? So they cannot buy. And now totally changes. People can shop for their needs and convenience for their homes. We are sitting at our homes and you just use your mobile and download the apps and we can make purchases 24/7, right? So there's a convenience we have. And not only we can buy locally, we can buy from worldwide. So there are this ecosystem create a lot of job opportunities in the delivery and the fulfillment centers. Okay, so this is the e-commerce growth, and retail e-commerce sales worldwide from 2014 to 2024, right? I can see 2021 is about 4,891 billion US dollars, and again the forecast is growing rapidly and steadily, because online shopping is one of the most popular online activities worldwide. Especially in USA, they just buy and buy and buy online through Amazon. So setting up in order to go into online selling and e-commerce, we need a website so that customers can interact with our website, they can do a purchase. So for that, we need a purchase a domain, especially normally it will basically is a brand name. So customer remember our brand, and we need to have a platform that is secure and with security certificates. And by we need a host service provider and select the payment provider. Everything is integrated with the same. So this is sort of basic things we need to set up, right? But if you not technical people, these are the steps may be a bit difficult. And so for those who want to sell their products and through marketplaces, so these are the marketplaces available. So we want to reach their customers, because Amazon customer base is very huge, especially US, and now is steadily growing across other countries. And we can able to sell our register as a business entity, and we can sell our product through Amazon and Etsy. Etsy is mainly for handmade items. They don't allow anything other than non-handmade items, so they only allow handmade items. And local platform such as Shopee and Lazada is very famous, especially in Singapore and Southeast Asia. And Shopee is owned by Singaporean, which is originally come from China, and he settled up here. Lazada is basically under Alibaba. And if you want to build our own website, and there are readily available package, Shopify, Wix, WooCommerce, and Shopline, Shopcat, these are the websites. Then you can just buy some subscription monthly fees. So they will take care of all the technical aspects on the back end, which I mentioned earlier. So five steps. So most popular website is Shopify, because it's just very easy to within a day you can be able to create your own website, and you can list your products and you're ready to go online. So that's very easy to do it. And these are the other most popular website. So I'm going to play a video. So how our customer experience, which is how the technology enable the merchants giving a good experience for the Amazon, for the customers.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store, so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
Yeah, so Amazon basically is online, but now they're penetrating into offline by giving this good customer experience by use of technology. How easy is that? You just go in and you just pick up and go out. No queue, nothing, no manpower there. Everything is based on technology. So business growth. So the business growth impact, online shopping can change the way we do business. Expand client base. We can tap market from all over the world because there is no limitation. For example, when you have your own e-commerce website in Shopify, then basically in Singapore, your entity is Singapore, but you can sell globally, and that is possible. And this opens opportunity for other business models, such as social media marketing and content marketing. And one of the highest demand talent requirement is now is a digital marketing. Then we can able to compete with the global brands. Okay, so based on this, the online shopping can change the way customers see us. Last time we go down to shop, and now they can purchase online, and so everything is based on the customer, how they interact with your website, and the machine learning will capture that and only shows the Amazon shows only what the customer behavior. Based on that, they display the product. Whenever you go into apps, it shows only related to what you search in the past. So it will show to you, relevant to you. So customers can buy products without being limited to local options. So we can buy from US, UK, anywhere in the world. And no more phone lines, and everything is automated, fully online, and there is no phone line. And when you sell your own brand and the end customer start to know about your brand, and you can establish a brand globally. So online is when we selling online, how we reach customers, and which is important is digital marketing. So we do run ads in Google ads or Facebook ads. So these are the main two platforms we are using, and in e-commerce most of us are using, because whenever customer searches, for example, you said you want to buy some kitchen towel, you go and search in the Amazon, then Amazon shows the relevant products. Right? In between, you can see some ad product, advertisement product. So that's where the ads pop up, and that is within Amazon. When you use Google ads and Facebook ads, you drive the traffic into Amazon. So that's how the traffic generated. So they will go into your page and they can start to buy if they like it. So this is very important, and because whoever buy online, after you search, most sales come from the page one. So page one is limited, and every seller try to fight to get a space to display their product. So the machine learning pick up the products and source the customer based on many factors, mainly for a number of reviews, and customer once they click your listing, they buy, then the machine understand, okay, this is relevant, so it shows again, and out of stock, how much the stock availability, everything is controlled by the AI. So where the e-commerce will continue to evolve with the technology, and the next one thing is I'm seeing these things getting better in shipping and order fulfillment as a competitive edge, because if you buy in Singapore and take at least a couple of days, but if you buy from overseas, it take more faster. So customer don't want to wait too long. So this is one thing that create now is coming fulfillment. They are adapting the technology and see how fast they can ship it out. And online means it's a security threat is always there, because everything's database, and so that there's an investment in the cybersecurity and security technology to enhance the safety of our data. And warehouse automation is coming. So maybe you can go to YouTube and see how Amazon operates. Everything is automation. And when the time they place order and they ship out, is everything automated. Only the manual intervention is at the end. And so this is the AI will be continue to evolve. And e-commerce is mainly the big topic in e-commerce world is happening is that we are creating a lot of plastic pollutions, or so many brands now are looking into environment friendly package. When you buy groceries from Redmart or Lazada, you can see a lot of plastic bags they deliver, but same thing you order from anything from Amazon, they use paper bags. So this is how they differentiate. So this is the overall what's happening in e-commerce and what we do. We are selling. I'm mainly selling in Amazon US market, and locally I'm selling in Shopee and Lazada under my own brand. So we help those who want to come on board in e-commerce, and they have the product but don't know how to sell, and they are more retail oriented. They're not well versed in online. So we are helping them during COVID, and a lot of retail shops are affected, especially in Sarangan Road, and we approached through a city, and we help them to come on board and setting a shop and everything sell, and now they're selling in online. So we can help consultant services, product research, what to sell. If you have product, it's fine. But if you don't know, don't have any product, we have a methodology how to search, because the product, finding the right product is the key, because everybody's selling, right? So there's a high competition, and we need to find our unique selling point. That's now we mentioned that Dr. Stanley, I think the name, Professor Stanley, and he mentioned all the applications come into white, and only his daughter selling blue color, so it pops out, right? So some technique we use like this. So we need to see how the product is set. So we identify what our competition is there and how the customer. So demand supply analysis we do. Once we identify the product, then we see where we can source from, right? So everybody going to China, but we are taking a different approach. We are going to India to source because less competition there, because everybody, e-commerce world, everybody going to China for cheaper product, right? And there are a lot of crowd there, and easy to people copy. Even I had some bad experience, and one of my supplier copied my product, and they started selling, and my SMA completed. So so I switched my strategy and increased my products price range above $50. So a lot of crowd is disappeared and less competition. So we do sourcing mainly from India nowadays. And we also help product listing, because this is a machine pickups your product listing to show to the end customer. So what are the keywords you need to use in your product listing, and how the images to show the customer, because in the physical store you go, you can touch and feel the product, but you can talk to the salesperson there, but online there's nobody, right? So you have to think about the customer, so what they want, they're looking for. So everything you need to list it there very clearly, and customer can get information that they will make decision. And last but not least, we also do digital marketing consultant services to boost the traffic to our listings. Yeah, so any questions you have, you can ask now. So I end my presentation here, and if you want to reach out to me, you can reach me through WhatsApp. I don't put email, but you can scan this QR code. You can reach me in WhatsApp, and we can discuss further. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Raj. And there's some information that you shared with us, and it is an interesting world where everybody is going for e-commerce and trying to sell and carve a pie. We have a huge population in this world, and many have access to, even though they have no access to food, but they have a phone. Yeah, and everybody is looking into a platform where they can buy something. So it is the best way to reach out to people if you want to sell something. And so I hope if anyone have got any questions, you can ask, or reach out to Mr. Raj and ask him personally. If you need any support, you can always have a chat with him. I'm sure he'll be happy to help you. Dr. Ram, you have any thoughts?
One simple question. Is it required the e-commerce any kind of prior knowledge or experience, or we can directly go with the Shopee or any sites, Lazada or something? We can enable ourselves to learn and explore as per our capacity can support.
Okay, so basically there are differences when you sell in the marketplaces like Amazon or Shopee, Lazada, because they are the owners of the platform. So they have their own customer base. So you can optimize your listing, use the keywords, and you can listing, you can sell. But one thing nowadays, online means the data is the key, right? So all the data, customer data is owned by the marketplaces. You even though you know the address and name, phone number, you're not supposed to use that for your own purpose. So that is one thing. So that's why you want to create your own brand. And so you can go to Shopify. That's an easy plug and play kind of thing with the minimum knowledge. And even I'm basically from the engineering background, but I start to do my own, and yeah, it's quite easy. Small tilting here and there, you can learn along the way. So if you have one brand, one product, and yeah, you can sell parallelly in Shopify, and also you can have own shop in Shopify, and also you can sell marketplaces. There is no restriction at all. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we move on to the next speaker, our final speaker, Mr. Alauddin. He's an experienced IT professional from Singapore. New ways to succeed in today's technology-driven world. This is an interesting insight that I'm looking forward to hear from him. There's an avalanche of information that is coming in so many platforms, and it suddenly creates the need to know. There's a whole host of things that I need to grasp, and what can I take on? Yeah. So there's limitations. There's also aspirations that I want to take on as much as I can. So I'm looking forward to hear from him. Mr. Dean is a technology professional and trainer who loves to challenge audiences to leverage with their focus and pay attention to what matters at work and in life. So leverage is a big word as well, and it is a powerful thing to do. You know, why just work on it for yourself, but work with others and collaborate. So having worked in multiple industries for several years as a technologist and business specialist with passion to share knowledge is a real motivation in his career. So I would want to hear his inspiration. Alauddin, all yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vernon. I'm just trying to share my screen. Just give me a second. Okay, can you just allow me to share the screen because it says I'm disabled. Can you hear me? I guess.
Okay, your co-host now.
Okay, let me see. Okay, share. Okay, able to see my screen. Just let me know.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm just trying to put it into a slideshow. Okay. Okay, hope you guys can see. Right. Okay, good evening. I see a lot of wonderful speakers. They have made my job much easier because most of the content what I wanted to say has already been shared with you guys. Okay, so it's really an honor for me to just share the new ways to success in technology-driven world. So I just want to start with a simple quote by this author. He says that our future success is directly proportional to our ability to understand, adapt, and integrate new technology into our world. And since we are touching on latest technology in our future market, I also wanted to say that digitalization can destroy, preserve, or enhance our revenues. Okay, with that being said, my name is Dean, and I'm a technology professional, and I have spent my several years working as a IT professional in different verticals industries, and I'm a trainer, and I am also an entrepreneur, and I love to share my knowledge and I'm very receptive to creative ideas for the benefit of society. So with having said all these things, let's go and take a look as to what is happening in this technology world. Okay, I think we all of us, we know that COVID has actually hit us quite badly last year. And this has caused a really huge impact in our economy and the different industries what we had globally. Okay, just to touch a little bit, the reason why I'm touching on COVID is because I just wanted to tell people that usually people, I mean, since I'm a trainer, I have seen many students and many, even some of the, what do you call, professionals, they just come to me and say, hey, Dean, can you just tell me, what is the future career? What are the future trends? Where is IT going? And what should I do? The question, what should I do, always really fascinates me. The reason why I say this is because if we are not sure as to what we are going to do, whatever we do is going to be wrong. Yeah. So in order for us to know effectively exactly where the trend is, where the IT is going towards, and how the economy is doing, we need to be fully aware in order for us to decide as to what we can calibrate in our future. Okay. We know recently that we had a lot of domino effects in our industry. Our industry was really hit pretty bad, and this has caused a global turbulence in our economy, right? And due to this COVID and the global turbulence which we had, all of us faced badly for the past more than 1.5 years, this started forcing organizations to think differently. The reason why they have to think differently is because obviously the profit was down, business was not moving fast, and things were having a lot of replication effect. So this really created a, how do I say, a real big turbulence in terms of business, in terms of employer, in terms of the worker. When I say business, employer, worker means these are the people who have been really badly affected in our COVID-19. And the good news is, because of this change and because of this push what we had in COVID-19, a lot of changes has been put into place, not only from the economical level, not only from the government level, not only from the business level. It also had an impact on people like us. For example, if we are working in a working community, that actually pushed business, employer, work into a different tangent. And obviously, this made COVID-19 started pushing people to allow people to work in a remote, and also accelerate digitalization, and at the same time also automate things. Okay, this really gave birth to a new set of opportunities for all of us, right? And this really started making organizations to think as to how we can improve and how we can have a better business model in order for us to have a workforce which is really talented, and at the same time work and align ourselves with a government and the economy in order to go back or maybe do better than how we used to be in our pre-COVID levels. So these are some of the numbers where the CEOs, CIOs, all the top management thinkers started putting their hat and started looking into like how we can improve our workplace in a better shape. Having said all these things, we had a turbulence year last year, especially 2020, and now the economy is being projected like starting from 2021 onward, going all the way to 2022, things are going to become a little bit better. And these are some of the projected numbers. I'm just trying to tell you guys with a limited time what I have for the next 20 minutes, like how important it is for us to have a good idea, especially when you're working in a professional, especially when you are in IT, especially, you really need to have a clear strategic thinking as to where the government is going and where the economy is going and how the business models are going to change and how is it going to affect my country. These are all the factors you should take into account. And these are some of the economies which is being projected for the next 1 to 2 years. I mean, this data is a little bit old, pardon me for that. But what I want to tell you is all these numbers have to be in our mind in order for us to have an effective career and see how the future trend is going to be in terms of technology. And all of us, we know that the earlier speakers were speaking that technology is the way to go. Not only for the business, it's also for the government and the economy moving forward. Now, just want to take you back to maybe a couple of 100 years ago, how things were. We started with our steam revolution, which we call as first industrial revolution. And then we moved into the second, and then we moved into third. And regardless to say, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. And this is the place where it's really, I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes we have a lot of opportunities in crisis, right? So in a way, I would say that we are blessed. At least we are in the fourth industrial revolution where intelligence really matters. I mean, human touch really matters. And at the same time, humankind has actually exceeded in certain things like, for example, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, biotech, and all these things. I'm not going to go through these names because all these things you guys have already heard in the headlines. But in today's topic, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you guys, walk through with you guys, how much of change are we making? What is going to be the impact in my livelihood? And for those people who are graduating from a college, going all the way to entering the workforce, they should have all these things in their mind in order for them to actually effectively manage their career path. Okay. And now, this is the thing. Here the thing is, the future is not like how we, like 20, 30 years ago, we used to go to office and we sit in a table and we comfortably work in a small cubicle and things are well organized, right? Things are well organized. We go in the morning at 9 and come back home at 5. That's no longer the case. Now, the new trend is, the new way of working is work anywhere, right? And work anywhere in the sense like I can work 24 by 7, which is not good for health, which I'll be touching a little bit on the later slides. But what we need, what I'm trying to say is the whole world has changed. The way how we do our work. Now I even have some of my friends, they are back in India, and what they do is they even work from their farms. All they have to do is just have a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection, and that's it. And they are ready to go. So those are the days where you can physically see an employer, the employer can see an employee, but now it's not the case. We work virtually, right? So, but the thing is, everything is going on mobile. Mobility is the way to go. And no matter what, one thing I want to remind you is human touch is the best. We still lack human touch. We have all sort of machines in all the world, but human touch is the best. Okay. And then having talked about so many things in the past 2-3 slides, like how the economy has been hit, what is the new trend of way of working, I just want to let you know that there are 4 points which I believe it's important for us to understand. Like moving forward, we should know all these things in order for us to have a better assessment of how the future technology is going to work. Those were the days when people used to come and ask me, for example, I'd say, Dean, can you tell me what course should I do? Should I take IT or should I take civil or should I take mechanical? Then we, based on our experience, they say, okay, I think IT is the way to go. Then they will ask me, okay, what course should I take? Should I take programming or should I take hardware or should I take Python, etc., etc. But my humble request to everyone is things have changed. You have to be smart and we have to be smart. We should know what is happening in the political background. We should know in our country, what's the economy state, and we should know what are the business changes which are going, and we should know what is the technology which is happening. I can hear you, everyone saying that, look, Dean, in those kind of advanced countries, it's very easy for people or the citizens to have access to this data. But how about those people who are coming from third world countries? How about those people who are less fortunate? What do we do? That's the work of people like you and me to organize, form a community, and start helping the whole world as to how we can propagate this information to the third world countries. Yeah. So these are the 4 points, remember, and those people who have a camera, or maybe, sorry, those people who have a mobile, I'm just pausing here for a few seconds just for you to take a quick snapshot. Not a photo with me, but a photo with a slide and remember these 4 things, which is very important. Now, basing on what I have mentioned earlier, these are the 5 trends which we think are rather shaping up in today's economy. For example, the first trend, the reason why I'm touching on this trend is if we know the trend in which direction or which road we are going to, we will obviously know where is the path we are heading to, right? Rather than me telling you, okay, AI is going to be the future, e-commerce is going to be the future, or maybe machine language is going to be the future, or robot is going to be the future. I'm not here to say that, because the thing is, even one step before, we should be smart enough to identify the trends and changes and the waves which are already happening in the industry. This is absolutely critical, okay? And these are the 5 trends which I think is actually happening in our global economy. One is globalization. To be honest with you, I've been in the industry for several years. The one thing I realized is I started working in a small cubicle, and in one place, maybe in Singapore and India, but now it's not the case anymore. Globalization has been there for many, many years, but now it's the time we can really feel how the globalization is. For example, if I want to work with my Russian counterpart, or maybe even in somebody in South America, or maybe somebody in India, Bangalore, etc., I really need to have a mindset. Later, I'm going in my couple of slides, I'm going to see, rather than just telling the word globalization is quite a big word, we should really understand what the globalization is. What sort of mindset should I have in order for me to effectively work in this globalization work? Things are global. Connecting everywhere is global. Nowadays, connection is no issues at all. So I'm going to go brief on this because I think it's a session by itself, but I'm trying my best to, my job here is just to pass as much message as possible. And second thing is mobility. The way to go is people want to have everything in their palm, meaning to say that in everything, as long as you have the information in the palm, I think you are the king. So those days people say, okay, gold is, what do you call it? Gold is the gold, right? Gold standard. But nowadays people say data is the gold. That's the new era which we are stepping into. And people have less patience to go into an office and then work on things. People want everything instantaneous. In order for us to have instantaneous things, we need to have data on the mobility, right? Millennials, these are the young generation, very latest generation who really have a different mindset, not like how we used to be in the past. So my humble request is don't go and complain that, oh, millennials are always looking at the WhatsApp, they are always looking at the laptop, they are always looking at the things. That's how the world has been wired. Millennials are going to bring a lot of changes. If you ask me, the change is already here. Trust me, I feel that the change is not here yet. We are going to see more changes. And obviously the changing demographics. Now, if I work in India, if I want to work in India, or if I want to go to Singapore, or I want to work in Australia, the demographic really doesn't matter. But if the demographic doesn't matter means you should know the culture, what's happening in Australia. You should know what the trend is happening in the demographic. If not, liaising with people, doing multiple projects with them and handling mega tasks with them is going to be pretty complex, okay? And last one is the technology. So in this session, I'm going to touch on the technology, right? Okay, here's the interesting slide. For those guys, again, you have a camera, please take a picture of this. The reason why I'm saying is in technology means technology is actually happening in different verticals. When I say technology means it's happening in healthcare, it's happening in manufacturing, it's happening in finance, it's happening in transportation, so on and so forth. But today, presentation, I'm going to touch only on finance. The reason why finance is something which is very close to my heart. And I also feel, end of the day, we all need money to survive in this world. So as long as we know that what changes have been happening in our global financial system, that helps us identify this trend. And in turn, for the future generation, we will also know what is happening in our career market. Okay, my purpose is to tell you what is happening in the world, what are the trends, and what are the future career prospects. These are my three things. Okay, so we all know that currencies are having a tough time. When I say currency means global currency is having a tough time. Because of the toughness, we now have a very interesting situation where people are going towards Bitcoin standard. Bitcoin standard is something very interesting. Okay, and because of this Bitcoin, we had a lot of other new innovations, like for example, credit card wallet. Then we had blockchain, and then that caused a global impact in economy. And now we have something called NFT. NFT stands for non-fungible token. And all these are something really latest standards, which is shaking the finance world. Trust me, it's really shaking. And every single day, for those people, just mini information I want to share. For those people who have read the news recently, just a couple of days ago, or maybe a week ago, Facebook has been now changed its name to Metaverse, right? That Metaverse is going to be the future on many of the technologies like what I'm going to describe here. So NFT is one of them. Decentralized DeFi stands for decentralized finance. What it means is we are no longer going to have a single bank where we go and do a transaction. Those banks are going to be in your web browser. Imagine your web browser is already a mini bank. So which means to say, if you have 8 billion of people in the world, so we're going to have 8 billion, imagine 8 billion banks in your computer, in your home, anytime. So that's the amount of impactful change we are going to bring. And the third thing is something called Web3. Web3 is the latest one, which is being, it's under research, and a lot of new technologies are embracing this Web3. I mean, if you allow me, I think Dr. Ram has to give me like 6 hours or maybe 7 hours, but unfortunately I have 20 minutes, but I'm just rushing through it, yeah? Okay, just to give a quick snapshot, because usually when I have my session, I just want to give a lot of freebies, and at the same time, I want you to be enriched. At the end of the 20 minutes, you should be a tech savvy. That's my goal. I hope I can do that, definitely. Okay, to your left of the screen, you can see that we have Web 1.0. Those were the days, like many years, like 15, 20 years ago. That's how we started. We have simple transactions. Everything was simple. All we can do is just like a newspaper, we just read. But then we went to something called Web 2.0, where we can read and write, meaning we can do a lot of transactions. And now we are getting into a stage, what we call as Web 3. It's even more interesting. It is more touching. It is more pulling the citizens of each and every kind of people. I mean, it's pulling the citizens into the economy world. Let me show you the next slide. This is even more interesting. I can show you how these web are even being pulling and transforming the economy. For example, Web 1 is what we call as information economy, where we just have the information, that's it. And Web 2 is something what we call as platform economy, meaning to say I can transact with a bank, I can have my entertainment, I can share my news with my friends. That's called platform economy. And now, interestingly, we are moving to a thing called ownership economy, meaning to say you own everything, meaning the bank is on your side, the business is on your side, the e-commerce is on your side, everything is going to be on your side. Okay, the good news is we have a lot of things to learn. That's the thing. We are going to keep learning. In those days, people will always say in Tamil, they will always say, oh, I know everything, right? But thank God we can't say that anymore, because now you cannot say you know everything, because you have more things to learn, and every day and month is going to be a learning curve for you, right? Okay, having said this, now let's take a look. What are the countries doing for all these issues and after COVID-19? Every countries are taking the stand, and they realize, okay, now it's the time for us to upskill every single individual citizens in their country. For example, Singapore has done their way, and they have a lot of SG United programs, skill package program, and a lot of programs which is upgoing, and they realize the importance of being upskilled. And some of the countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Western Europe, Middle East, South Africa, they have all their programs. Especially, I want you to take a look at South Africa. South Africa is a country where I really admire them, because they really thought that training or upskilling is the way to go. And they have doing excellent things. They're excellent. They are trying to compete with the first world countries. Imagine such a big country like South Africa. They are not there yet, but they are trying to upskill themselves. So let's wish them all the best to upskill their citizens, right? And this slide, I just wanted to show you, these are some of the roadmap. If you come and ask me, oh, Dean, now as a corporation, as a business, or maybe as an individual, how do I upskill myself? You need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it's going to be difficult, right? If you're a corporation, for those people who in this call who are running a business, we need to start looking into the strategies and the process, how we are going to upskill from the business level, from the organization level, from the employee level, and from the employer level. These are things we are going to see, right? These are just numbers, just a catchy numbers, just to show you that digitization and digitalization is the way to go. There are more and more jobs being created here, okay? And this is a famous slide. It's a simple slide. I like it because they always say humans are going to be replaced by machine, but I really doubt so. Even for the next 5 years, you can see still humans have to be there, right? Now, having talked about this for the past 10, 15 minutes, you may be asking me, come on, Dean, I know what you're saying. I know technology is important. I know business has to transform. So what do I do? How do I go? What is next for me? What is in store for me? Let me share something with you. To make it very simple, the top skills for tomorrow's job is going to be more on interpersonal skill. Like Dr. Ram was earlier highlighting it, it's all going back to basics. If you don't have the right attitude, if you don't have the right mindset, that's going to be a problem, right? And I have seen many people, they always say, oh, I'm good in Python, I'm good in AI, I'm good in ML, but are you good in your attitude? That's what the employees are looking for, right? Yeah. If I go for an interview, if I say, sorry, I know everything, the employee will say, I know you everything, tell me something, right? So your attitude should exhibit what you have in your mind first, right? Technical skills, to be those tech savvies in this call, technical skills is going to be in the demand, that's for sure, right? And how do we develop? That's all this session is about. Next, for those people who want to switch career, this slide is what I prepared for those people who want to switch career from something else, for example, manufacturing or construction to IT. First, identify in which quadrant do you like. You like communication, you like time management, you like networks, or you like coding. Pick the one you want. As long as you pick, for example, let's say if I am a person who pick on time management, it's simple for me. I need to know what projects I need to do. I need to deliver the projects to the company. I need to deliver the projects to the business. I need to take courses on project management, right? Now, the second question you may be asking me, Dean, can you tell me how long it's going to take for each of the things? For example, if I want to specialize on people and culture and content writing and sales and marketing skills, how long is it going to take? In the current scenario, assuming that you're going to dedicate yourself and you're going to be very focused in what you're going to do, 1 to 2 months should be more than enough for you to understand the people and culture. I'm talking about the dedication here, not about part-time learning. I'm talking about dedicated learning. And the next one is 2 to 3 months if you want to focus on data and AI skills. You have plenty of online courses. I'm not going to bore you guys with like, oh, there is a website and exactly. You guys know much better than me, but I'm telling you, this is the way to go. And if you want to have cloud skills, you need 4 to 5 months, right? And here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. In future, at least for the next 5 years, based on the trends, what I see is management and leadership is going to be the way to go. People need more efficient managers, thought leadership. And at the same time, you need a lot of interpersonal skills, and we need innovation and technologies. And I have also, and those people who have camera, just take a picture of this screen if you wish. That will help you to identify what are the skills which are required for the next 5 years. Of all the screens, what I like is I like this person sitting on top of the table and doing a meditation. Trust me, this is very important. We are moving into an economy where just now someone was speaking, we need to have a work-life balance, right? Come on, if the computer is going to be, the e-commerce is going to be for 24/7, how do I have a work balance? It's very difficult. It's easy to say, but hard to practice. But We are going into economy where you have to realize yourself. Career is for yourself. Life is for yourself. You should know what to take and you should know what not to take. So it's your choice, right? Based on all these things, I just want to wrap up. I have a few more minutes. So based on this, I have identified few mindsets we need to have. This is my recipe. First thing is we need to have a business mindset, technology mindset, health mindset, relation mindset. All these are here. If you ask me which one comes first, which one comes second, I have put my numbers here. Health is number 1 for me. Relationship is number 2 for me. Technology is 3 for me, and business mindset is 4th for me. All right. I'm just going based on my priority, but each of you can have your own. Right now, having all these things, I was talking to Dr. Ram, and the interesting thing is, I think basically the thing is, I'm looking for people. If you want to work with me and people like Ram, please come forward. I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys and work on a project and see how we can help us, not only by selling course, not only by helping us to say that, okay, if you want to become a project manager, I can teach you what is agile, right? But it's not about the money. It's about how you can spread knowledge. That's the important thing. If those people who are interested in this call, I'll be very happy to listen to you, and I'll be very happy to talk to, please talk to Dr. Ram, and we will be glad to help you guys on these 3 tracks, what I have helped earlier, right? And now, this is the bonus which I really want to give you guys. Usually for any training which I take, I always like to give something. As a bonus, I just want you to go down to Apple Store or Google Play, download this app. It's free of charge. In this app you can do your self-assessment. You can see a digital score, how much you fit into the digital technology. Because it's free, it's absolutely free. You can see how much you can do your own assessment, you can learn your own assessment, and you can also grow based on this assessment, right? And this is one thing I really wanted to give it free for you guys. And I really wanted to thank you all for giving this wonderful time to me. And I hope this session is useful. And at the same time, I can tell you the world is very small and we are doing lots of things. And I sincerely hope, this session is very useful and very informative, and please share this knowledge. And this is my humble request. Please help the future generation, share the knowledge, and please make someone smile for the rest of their life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. And that was an interesting insight as well. Amidst the different things that I was doing and trying to catch up and listen to his sharing, one thing that I realized about the world, the countries that actually are embracing technology and empowering people. If you are a training person and you love to educate them and empower them, probably Malaysia and Africa might be an interesting place to go to. Yeah, especially Malaysia is very livable, is vast, and if you don't mind the politics and you just want to make a difference in empowering people, it is a good place to go to. And Africa as well, because it's emerging and it's a forgotten world, and they want to make a difference and contribute to this world, and we can help them achieve that as well. Very good. And any questions for our panel of speakers? And Mr. Dean, you can actually stop sharing the screen.
Yeah.
That we can take on any questions if anybody has. I think there's someone, there might be.
Thank you for Mr. Dean come forward to share. It's a technology-driven world is engaging a lot. People cope up with the technology kind of journey. Adoption is very tricky, and even for IT skills or any other skills who wanted to transform in the mid-career, it's very challenging because of the domain experience or the knowledge source, as well as the skill sets which are very, very relevant. Even a teacher who can able to go for the home-based learning. It's a lot of struggle for them. Like a professional like Raj transformed into e-commerce, he put himself very hard to learn from different environment and put forth his things. Myself also, as a researcher, I transformed to many verticals. It's really making us to put very serious transformational issues. But the futuristic kind of workforces, they are going to challenge a lot. We could able to smell it and we could able to identify it. But I don't know the current curricular lesson plan and the atmosphere, which are not providing the kind of support which are very, very enough for at this moment. Even this COVID-19 had created a lot of challenges for the true learning behavioral sense, what we wanted to emphasize for the youngsters. But hopefully we can able to engage several sessions to service and support for the people who can able to lift up their career gap, where we can able to support for their needs. Definitely. And what kind of courses you are concentrating and what kind of way the people can engage?
For me, Dr. Ram, this is the question.
Yes.
Okay, sure. For me, the thing is that like what I have said, I actually categorize into three tracks. So we have a business track, and we have the technology track, and we have a health and wellness track, right? For those people who are into a business track, what we do is I actually engage one of my friend. He is actually a business. He's a successful businessman, and we train people on how to import and export commodities globally and do transactions and business in a global fashion. And at the same time, we also advise people on how we can, in fact, elevate things and get into these local government procedures as to what needs to be done, like things like cooperating your office, what are the taxation procedures, and what are the sales policies, etc., etc. So those things are on the business track. But on the technology front, we do quite a lot as well, because we do agile project management. Because agile is a way where Singapore government is also, I mean, many of the governments are going into the agile methodology. So we focus on agility project management. And then we have also the AI, ML, and other latest courses in ourselves. So in terms of the dates wise, I think we can customize it. I don't think that's an issue. But at the same thing is we need to plan it in advance. So we don't have a regular batch yet, because we are doing it on ad hoc basis. And ours is more personalized and custom course, so where people can really get the value out of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Maybe we will keep in touch to explore the possibilities to work together. Is there any other people wanted to tell anything? Dr. Ali, are you there? Do you want to brief anything?
Yes, I'm available.
Thank
Can
you.
you see me? Just a minute.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. It was a wonderful session. Thank you, Dr. Ram, for organizing it and inviting me. My apology, because I couldn't listen everybody. I was doing in between on and off something else. I had to attend those. But having said that, I think this is another feather in the cap, Dr. Ram. You addressed very important topics today. And one thing I will tell for sure, what Dean was telling, one can reach the top with hard work and technical expertise, but he or she cannot sustain at top with those qualities. If anything can help him or her to sustain at the top, it is the people quality, human skill. And that is what is never ever taught in any education institute that we come out with. It is life teaches us in a very hard way, or those who are smart, they try to learn from others' life's learning. And when we have got so many people volunteering to come forward, I think we should spread the word that, hey, come here. We have a group of people, those who are master in their own field, willing to share, giving the helping hand, giving the support to help you grow and sustain. The sustainability is the biggest challenge going to be for the future generation. You will achieve something in a shorter time, but then you cannot sustain. And if you cannot sustain, it is like highly perishable goods. Today you are fresh, tomorrow you are unusable. So I think future generation need to invest a lot of time and energy on soft skills, human skills. Of course, Dr. Ram knows for others' benefit, we ran 2 successful programs in last 2 months or so, Dr. Ram, and we addressed a couple of very interesting, relevant topics. And maybe in future, we will be coming ahead with again another program, and that is when I'm sure Dr. Ram will, according to the topic and program, will contact many of you to be part of the group so that we join hand together for the betterment of the society that we belong to, those who have given us so much, from where we have been benefited so much. That is one thing I think Dr. Ram and I are committed. We have started taking the baby steps, and I'm sure on the way, a lot of people like you will become friends and co-workers, and we'll join together to bring smile to many more people's face. And one business request, I am a trained uh, professional practicing energy conservation professional. My PhD is in energy conservation, and I specialize in no cost and low cost energy conservation measures. No cost means where you don't spend any money and yet you will be able to save a lot of energy, be it at your home, at your office, or your manufacturing facilities, or anywhere. So I and Dr. Ram, we are trying to collaborate with people who would like to engage us for the benefit. It is not going to be the benefit from our side. It will be win-win situation for everybody. So here also, it is not that me and Dr. Ram are trying to push. We are also again trying to build a team so that we extend our service to as many people, as many places as possible. Thank you very much. I'm done with finished speaking.
Thank you. George Kingsley, are you available? You want to say anything? If not, Dr. Saravanan, we can close the session by vote of thanking.
Yes, Dr. Ram, and thank you for creating this opportunity. And I would like to thank all the members at GIS and the supporters of this event, ACE International Naturopathic Therapies Clinic, and all the speakers who have shared all the valuable experience and knowing. So Mr. Dean, Siraj, and Mr. Alvin Arkot. And so thank you for your insights. And I'm sure there's a lot to take away from this. And we remain in contact. And I was also encourage all the speakers to also become part of our association, and so that we can work hand in hand and improve the quality of people's life. You need not work individually. So I would encourage you to come on board, and we are progressively and slowly evolving, unlike other many organizations that are out there with a lot of rara, but we have our own rara by having all these events, and you have participated in one. So I would encourage you to come on board and be part of us. Yeah. And you can be from anywhere in this world, be a member of our organization, and we can connect to technology and contribute and evolve and help others evolve in business, in personality, in intellectually, and through wisdom. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best, and we'll come to a close now. Thank you very much. Take care, and the invitation for all of you all to join is not only for the speakers, but everybody who's here in this group. You can reach out to me or Dr. Ram, and